One of the most misunderstood aspects of riding you will face is your source of true confidence. And you've probably already heard more practice or upgrading your bike is the solution, but deep down, you know it's a dance. You know it's a paradox of detachment. How are you supposed to try hard enough to shred with confidence, but not so much that you death grip the bars and ride as tight as a tire insert? What really makes a confident rider? Well, you have to care enough about it to actually take action. Otherwise, family, kids, jobs, and life get in the way. But you can't care so much about it that you overthink, overplan, and overdo. So in this video, let's have a conversation about detachment and how this concept can help you be the rider you've dreamed of being without any practice. Let's look at this from three angles. 1, the self. 2, timeline. And 3, performance. If you're overattached in any of these three areas, you will be riding way worse, not better. If you get these three areas dialed though, riding becomes natural. Where riders go wrong when they hear detachment, we get it confused with just send it. Never tried that jump before, no way to find out other than to, how can I meet? YOLO. Or we decide anything scary is automatically bad and we tense up. You get arm pump, you fall behind, and you're embarrassed that you spent so much money on a bike, but you can't ride it. Detachment isn't about what you don't care about. It's about selective, intentional choosing of what actually matters to you. In the same way, too much code in a computer makes processing slow. Too much caring about our minds makes us anxious. And anxious riders mistime the jump. They have to hang on for dear life on the downhills. They're drained, they're nervous, and it takes the fun out of riding. And that's what I've learned. When I care too much about too many things, it makes it hard to enjoy riding. Here's a useful analogy you can use. You have a phone right now. You just toss it up a few times. You can flip it. You can do this easily. That's your ability to throw and catch your phone. You could do this all day long. Did you doubt yourself? No, it's easy. But what if we made one change? Go with me to the top of a balcony, 10 stories up at the top of a hotel. Now, when we toss the phone holding it over the balcony, it's very difficult now because the stakes are higher. Can you see how this works in real life? When we put a big importance on something by taking the jump, the trail to the 10th floor, we get all in our heads about something that's easy at our desk. And I hope that's clarifying for you. If you're looking to apply everything we're talking about on this channel, check out our membership, Mountain Bike Breakthrough, where it's possible to shred with confidence, get fit, be the rider you dream of in as little as 12 weeks. We do this by bike body synthesis progressions, where the moves you need to do on the bike are trained off the bike safely and step by step. We also have interactive live coaching. If you're ready to break through your skill plateaus now, click the link below to join us today. So the first area is detaching from the self-image on the trail. You're not wrong if you want to look good on the trail. Everyone wants to look good on the trail. Totally human nature. But here's how caring too much can really mess you up. If you're overattached to, say, a race, I have to get on the podium. It's my one chance. Embarrassing fact here, but my very first race, I crashed twice because I was rushing so hard to get around a corner. I hit a tree with my head and spent 10 seconds trying to figure out which way the trail went. I almost quit racing, actually, but once I relaxed, I chilled out on my second run. I did a pretty good job and hit all the features on the course. I cared so much about my outcome that I forgot there were literal objects in front of me that could break my collarbone. It reminds me of one of the riders I coach. He said literally he used to send any black diamond trail without a second thought, but after a crash in front of his friends, he could not shred like he used to without tensing up. It's like he could do it, but something was missing. I gave him some pretty tough love. I said, you're making mountain biking about you and how you look, and do your friends really care? And he admitted he totally could relax and just have some fun. Your whole goal is about connecting with nature. Your friends are getting healthy anyway, so when you allow for a relaxed, fun state, that's when your true riding skills you're capable of come out to play. Now, isn't that the likable person your friends want to ride with anyway? The timeline. This is very common to have a ton of attachment to. We always associate goals with a timeline. I have to get on the podium. I have to learn wheelies by this summer. I have to stop crashing before the bike park trip. The pressure doesn't deliver what it promises, and it can leave you broken on the side of the trail if you're not careful. And you may have heard some motivational speakers shout that you need pressure. Iron sharpens iron. If you're not suffering, you're not improving. If you're not practicing more or harder, you're getting worse. I mean, it's true. Pressure creates awesome things like jet engine flight and diamonds. It also explodes wheels when there's too much of it. So this way of thinking, doesn't it make you think short term? And short-term goals create more pressure. Now, if you want to ride for the next 10 to 40 years into your 80s and 90s, and you find yourself under a ton of pressure to hit your goals, that's a good sign you're too attached to timelines when things have to be and how. Again, you're not alone. Just you care a lot about mountain biking, and I struggle with this one big time. My story is that I wanted to own a business and work with professional athletes, kind of separate ideas, but I wanted to also film 33 tricks by my 33rd birthday, like tail whips and backflips and bar spins, so I could hang out with the pro athletes that I respected and at least have a bag of tricks. So I worked my tail off to do a backyard pump track to accomplish this. I kept hustling at my job, and I kept on trying to be a good husband and dad. I would ride any chance I got so I could nail my skills down. Now, the next thing I know, I'm 35, and it didn't happen. So no backflip, no half-cab bar spins. Maybe it's not going to work out. I'm thinking, it's challenging when you have 2 kids, a wife, and 3 acres to handle, and it's not really a success. And it kind of hurt to know that I had failed. Now, along the way, though, I had built the business, and my brother-in-law, John, and I fixed some movement problems that held back my riding. And the next thing you know, we were helping others do the same. And next thing you know, I was helping riders hit drops and jumps and corners like crazy. And I got noticed by some Red Bull Rampage athletes who wanted to help. And there you go. I couldn't believe it. I got to work with people I really respected, and I started having a ton of fun. It was incredibly rewarding. So I'll tell it to you straight. The crazy thing about timelines is sometimes God has better plans than what you could have imagined, and it's better to let them happen that way. So today I'm incredibly happy because of my family and because of what I get to do. So every failure, maybe they're just a good thing so you can have something better. What are some things in your life you can say not getting the outcome was an actual benefit because you could chase what you really wanted? So yes, you have a timeline, but I believe God has the best one for you. What if we trusted that timeline? Performance, the last area we need to talk about. This one could be what brings it all together for you if you let it. This area is detaching from your performance. Now, there might be some of you that resists this and says, I need to be prepared. I want things to go well. I want to anticipate things so bad things don't happen to me. Look, these are rationalizations or excuses, and they don't make you perform better. They make you perform worse. And most riders, they just want confidence. And everyone says if they had more confidence, they would trust their body or trust their bike. But do you want to hear the curveball? The root word of confidence is confide. In other words, deep trust. Confidence comes from trusting. If you really trust yourself, you're not really thinking. If you're really trusting yourself, you're not really trying too hard. And if you're trying too hard, you might crash. But if you trust, you may roll out of that crash nicely without getting hurt. If you're a mountain biker, you're probably very successful in other areas like your career or family or something. But over caring about your performance will wreck you literally because you're trying too hard to control the outcome. It's deceiving. The moment you try to control the bike, you actually give up your balance, your coordination, and your flow. In other words, you override your natural, God-given talent in exchange for a slow, scared, weak idea that if you just control it, nothing will go bad. And the truth is, so much of riding is uncontrollable. It's the same in life. Take a good, healthy relationship, for example. Do you want to be in a relationship where your husband or wife controls everything you do? No, that's the kind of relationship that you run from because it's bad for both of you. It restricts your real talents. It's the same with riding, obviously. So if you want to tap into the paradox of detachment, we need to start trusting ourselves more. So to recap, when you're too attached, that gets worse results, not better. You end up putting too much importance on an outcome. Just like too much code in a computer makes for a slow program, too much caring in your mind creates a slow reacting rider that's anxious. So the solution for you is not to stop caring, it's to have an appropriate amount of confidence and trust in yourself and the years of practice that you've been putting into riding. You can detach from your image, controlling outcomes, and timelines. If you want to take a deep dive into this, I'll link below our membership Mountain Bike Breakthrough. We spend entire trainings on this, plus have some really good workshops to help you through this with other riders going through the same thing you are. It's pretty cool. You get to work with our coaches, so it's there if you want to join, not required, but wanted to make this available to you if you're a fan of what we're doing here on the channel. I know this is the next step for you. Speaking of next steps, lots of trusting yourself has to do with having a body you can trust. Here's a good follow-up video talking about how to do exactly that. Thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a rider you care about to help us grow. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.